Anti-Afro Svengalis. First, I have to say thank you for reminding me, and my apologies for my delay. And what am I referring to? Several people have requested that I post videos on certain topics. Yes, I'm going to do it. I'm going to do it. And I have 5 videos and none of them are done. I'm opting at this point to do a video that's probably going to go pretty long, and I'm going to have timestamps. So the topics that you were asking me about, you will be able to see if you want to go straight to that topic. Otherwise, I'm not going to get those videos done. I'm not going to go back and string those videos together because that's going to take me forever. Plus, there is a person who swears up and down he doesn't give a damn about me, he doesn't care about me, but I can guarantee you I have a reloop or I cut off a sentence at 11:15, 12:92, 13:55, and 22:45. He's going to know about it. Well, excuse me all over the place. I don't have time to sit down and be a Hollywood producer with the videos. I do the best that I can do. And for somebody who doesn't care, it really shouldn't concern you if I cut off a sentence. Let's move on. We're going to talk about number one. I want to say this. Propane Oaklane. I don't know if this crossed your mind. It crossed my mind, so I'm going to get it out. Proceed how you want to proceed on your channel. I'm not giving you any expectations. You've already laid down the expectations that everybody was welcome there. So I'm going along with what you said. Nothing needs to change if you don't want to change it. I'm giving information, I'm giving updates, and for those who I have not personally blocked, I will engage them. Primarily, I'm there, however, for the host. So what we have going on now, you have demon freaks who are extremely threatened. So what do? They make up lies and said that I called you a drug addict. They make up lies and said that I call your panel demon infused, full of shit, bullshit. That's what demon freaks like to do. This is what happened over in KKC's chat in terms of the reaction and the fear and just petrified that what? That AAS was going to steal KKC from them. These witches were acting the rank ass fool over there. So here we have you in the same situation with respect to these demon freaks. Terrorized. They really do believe that I'm going to take you away, that I'm going to capture you. T. Pre is the one that supposedly has these magical powers, but they're giving me all the credit. They really believe stuff like this. The insecurity is so too extreme bizarre. This is what these demons think. And it took, this is what I want to make sure everybody knows, because this is Propane Oaklane prompting memories about what happened in King Kong Crazy's chat. For 2 years, they worked on King Kong Crazy to try to get me out of there. M3 and Minds talked about having that experience in Smoke's chat as well, involving these same people. Now, let me make this clear to anybody over there in King Kong Crazy's live stream. I don't have issue with you. You don't have an issue with me. I'm not talking about you, not referring to you. Those subjects know who I'm talking about. They know exactly who they are because they did the same shit over in Smoke's space. Well, after I left King Kong Crazy's chat, and I left that chat again because he issued demands and expectations upon me that were exclusive to me, and the hell with everybody else. They weren't put under any expectations. I decided I'm out of here. I'm gone. This took 2 years. After I left, Butthole Pick Bernice, this is the one who's passing the photos around, claiming it was Lyndon Honor's anus. I mean, this is so disgusting. Can you imagine? Yes, imagine it. At any rate, she went over, let me see your handcuffs, chat, her demon-infused chat, which she's too scared to run now. And you better be scared to run that shit, because I'm going to start doing the same thing I was doing before. People start telling lies about me, I'm going to be dealing with every single lie. So run that shit again. Let me see your handcuffs. That's exactly what I'm going to do. At any rate, she went over there under that ridiculous not surviving AAS series that she took down. It's not on her channel anymore, but we have the live stream. Bernice went over there and announced to the world, King Kong crazy, let me block AAS. This was her defining moment. How many grand mal seizures later and 2 heart attacks later? I mean, let me tell you, this person was torn asunder by my presence over there. And this is what is happening with you, this incredible degree of threat. And how King Kong Crazy talks all kinds of shit about me. He can talk shit about me all day, every day. It's not going to matter. It's not going to convince them that there's no threat. It has nothing to do with what he's going to say or what he thinks or how he feels. How are you going to generate 250 plus screenshots, messages, and chats about me if you didn't have an extreme degree of insecurity about your position with KKC? I have 250 plus messages from Bernice about me. She harassed me through M3 and mine's cell phone. It has nothing to do with King Kong Crazy's words or thoughts. This is about her own insecurity. And this is what is happening here. Now, the fact that I blocked them is even worse because, that must mean you and I got some secret shit going on and the bomb's going to drop. I mean, the paranoia about somebody coming to someone's channel and participating and bringing facts is unbearable. But let me tell you what devastating effects Bernice's bullshit had on Bernice. After she made this announcement, and people are asking me, is this true? King Kong Crazy blocked you? First off, if I'm gone, how do I know that I'm blocked? I was leaving messages on KKC's community wall. KKC was responding. He responded because he knew I was sincere. Never told a lie about the positive. See, me, I will say how I really feel. It doesn't matter the state of the relationship. I made positive comments about KKC and they were true. He's responding to the comments that I'm making. Oh my gosh, Bernice completely freaked out and she starts erasing her comments. She couldn't even bear being on the same page. This is a community page, not a live stream. Wait a minute. Bernice said, let me see your handcuffs. Not surviving AAS. King Kong Crazy told her, block me. How am I leaving messages on the community wall if you blocked me? You didn't block me. Why didn't you erase my comments on the community wall when I was addressing or engaging King Kong Crazy? Because you did not have the green light to block me. How are you blocking me if King Kong Crazy is talking to me? You see what I'm saying, people? It was unbearable. She erased her comments because she couldn't bear being on the same page with me while I'm talking to King Kong Crazy. You are up, Propane. You are up. This is what they're doing to you. But I will give you credit for one thing. The blanket expectation for everybody that you have and you'll follow through on it. Unlike singling me out for unique expectations and going off on me and not saying shit to anybody else. You did come at me about a couple things and I kind of thought that heat wasn't justified and I explained that. But you've also done that to others. I can't say whether the heat for those folks was justified or not, but I will commend you for that, for making it blanket versus singling me out. I have information that needs to be dispensed. We need to make sure people are aware of what happened. Whether somebody wants to accept it, that's their decision. Whether they want it on their channel, that's their decision. I'm going to dispense this information. Nonetheless, I'm going to get it out. And I think for let me see your handcuffs to perpetrate a fraud that she gave a damn about what happened with you and Money Loke is just bullshit. How can she be concerned about content being used? She tried to steal anti-fraud warriors. No credibility. It sounded phony. Fake. Just like fake and phony when she says, my Libra brother, it's all fake. Let me see your handcuffs is highly committed to making sure you look at me in a certain way, but she's demonstrating those behaviors that she claims that I have. When she came up on your panel and was putting demands on you about what to tell me and how to handle me, and I'm going, what is this? I responded to, let me see your handcuffs, verbal statements in the chat, and I'm typing. She even said it herself. I hope she'll stop when she gets tired. I wasn't going to stop, but she's up here saying that I am the one that uses other screen names and captures screen names while I'm in the chat. No, she said it. I have another device and I'm capturing comments. She just admitted what she does. How the hell are you capturing comments that are blocked that you can't see on the screen while you're typing at the same time? She was the one doing that. She was talking, and she always captures the comments, as she stated. The comments are sent to me. You can't type at the same time and capture comments with what? My toes, my fingers, my tongue? What am I going to do this with? She always accuses people of doing things she specifically is doing. And here is another example. I'm going to leave messages. I'm going to give updates unless Propane Oaklane says don't do it. You're not in charge. You don't get to tell me what information I'm going to give to the host. The host has control over that. So why don't you go, if you want some excitement, go start up your demon-infused live streams again so I can light you up some more with your lives. You've told so many lies and you scrubbed the videos. That's what you did. Doesn't make any difference because we captured the videos. So enough of let me see your handcuffs for now. We're going to move on. I'm going to talk to you about the situation with Gerald and his channel. And this is a humdinger, people. The mess that's going on. Let me tell you something. This person who decides to attack Gerald's channel, whose name I'm definitely not going to mention, has a history of acting as if he rocks with someone and then he turns around. I don't want to say turn on a person because I don't think that would be the correct terminology. I think it was already planned and calculated to begin with, so there can't be any turning. There was never any sincerity with the position. So this person was a moderator in Lennon Honors live stream and went off talking shit about Lennon, so he was blocked and had a conniption fit about it. Same thing with Gerald. He was a moderator on Gerald's channel and went off and started talking shit. I mean, the goal obviously was to garner attention by being on a channel that a good number of people were interested in participating in or hearing about to much larger degree compared to what people were thinking and saying about this person. Nobody cared. So this person got this big up off of Lennon and off of Gerald and others and would run and talk shit about people. So he was blocked and he had, again, a bad reaction and proceeded to go on this campaign. But before the campaign started, let me give you a little background. Lennon Honor essentially had this freak 9.5 toes out the door because of the strategy that he used. I'm not going to get into all that now, but that's what happened. At one point, however, Lennon decided to address this person. And it's a free country. You have free speech, but I think that was a mistake. Basically breathe life back into this demon. Now, I don't want to saddle Lennon with this blame because you can't make somebody do something. If you were seeking a certain outcome and you wanted the outcome, that move I'm saying would be a mistake. Not that you can't say something about someone. So this person decided to take it upon himself to rebirth, so to speak. and started going around to these live streams, engaging in this horrendous harassing abuse, making up lies about people. I decided early on, I'm not even gonna deal with this. I think I had one video. I took that video. Now I did take that video offline because I'm like, no, I'm not even gonna address this at all. So this waged campaign of using people's photos without their permission in a live stream, that's very different from using someone's photo that they published on a video. This is something that I learned. You're using somebody's avatar on a panel as if it's them speaking. That is different from using a photo that is publicized. So he was doing this and people objected to it. He didn't care. He started attacking people based on their protected class issues. He's attacking them because of their health issues. And no, let me see your handcuffs is not being attacked for her health issues. She's trying to use her health issues to avoid responsibility. Very big difference. I didn't mention a single thing about, yeah, you should have this health issue and you should succumb to it. No, I'm saying you're using your health issues to try and stop people from holding you responsible for what you did. At any rate, the comments as to Gerald primarily focused on gay sex related themes. Vulgarity about oral sex and cum, guzzling. I mean, it went on and on and on. It basically is disgusting. I'm telling you straight up, I was thinking about this the other day. There is no man that I know, heterosexual man that I know, that I could even joke about gay. And it's not even being homophobic. Who the hell would bring something up like this to a heterosexual man? It's ridiculously bizarre, obsessive, and it denotes there's a serious issue going on with the person who's doing it, not with the person that they're targeting. This is what he was trying to do. Make Gerald appear a certain way based on the frequency of his gay related sexual man on man content applied to Gerald. He didn't get the reaction he wanted out of Gerald, so he started talking about Gerald and making speculation about Gerald's sexual relationship with his wife. And he did that on Let Me See Your Handcuffs channel and other spaces, posting this constant barrage of sissy this, bipolar that, sexual. It was people, countless upon countless messages posted. You tell me that's normal. You tell me that's normal for somebody working in disabled student services at a community college, which is a public institution, which means the person is a public servant. And the person got so much enjoyment out of it. It was like, loved every second of it. A rebirth from Lennon Honor. Lennon, you talked about me. Lennon, you brought me up here and you exchanged with me. And that video, oh yes, this is great. He went on and on and on. He didn't just talk about Gerald, he talked about people's health issues. I mean, people, it ran the gamut because you were there. But for those who weren't, I'm explaining all that went down. Then there were two people who decided to fight back. Gerald Palmer and M3 in Mines. And they filed complaints against this person. This is the background, people. I got to tell you this. And that complaint, but initially, he was not informed of the complaint because where the complaint was, and I'm not going to give more detail on that. So he decided to publicly challenge Gerald about whether or not he filed a complaint. Fine, publicly challenge him. So in comes, at one point, his photograph became known to the space. The photograph was public. He's a public servant, and it was on a public website. I mean, it's up for debate. YouTube has gone different ways with this. If someone's photo's in the public domain, that is not considered a privacy violation in general, but sometimes YouTube will act upon that and take your complaint and they will whatever run with it. But here's the situation. That photo was taken by several people and used as an avatar. This is what he was doing for people for how many years? I think it was 2 years or a year and a half. He was the one, this is a person, was the one that got the rumor, who got the rumor started about Al Lanier living in a nursing home, a skilled facility. He started that lie. And it wasn't even the Al show that was living in a skilled facility. There is nothing wrong with living in a skilled facility. There is nothing wrong with living in an assisted living facility. And you had a bunch of public servants jumping on laughing about this. The public servant was the one that started this rumor. He was referring to M3's cancer treatments, talking about her voice, and she's been public about she's a cancer survivor. It went on forever and a day. So the complaint was filed, and people started using this person's photo, which was publicly posted. And he decides he's going to use this as a copyright strike against Gerald because the photo was posted on the live stream. Now, here's where it gets galling. The photo was named Demonic Louse, and it was the person's photo of their own likeness. As far as I know, you can't copyright your own photo. Just yourself as a copyright. You can't copyright your own photo. You can copyright or request to have copyrighted artistic created images that you create or someone else creates for you, but your own photo, I've never heard of that. But even more galling, the person attaches the phraseology demonic louse to the photo and submits this to the U.S. Copyright Office, the feds. Excuse me, but this phraseology didn't originate from this individual. So this is a hijack. That phraseology was created by me in this particular YouTube space. It's not like somebody had no idea I existed or this phraseology existed and they just happened to come up with it in a whole different realm. No, that's not what happened. The person stole the phrase and is trying to claim it as their own. Not only that, trying to claim a phrase as their own and come after one of my best friends with it. Do you see how vile and disgusting this situation is? Think about this. I'm not going to down anybody who avails him or herself to our government systems and agencies. I am not one of those people who believes Umar Johnson and other fools. Don't believe nobody else. Believe me and give me money. Just take note of the fact that people and their character follow them wherever they go. Dishonest, deceptive, and abusive, lying and conniving here in these YouTube streets, filing documents with the government. Nothing changes. It's a false document. Yes, anyone filing documents with false statements, false assertions, false claims is engaging in fraud. This is not a phrase this person came up with. It wasn't incidental. It wasn't inadvertent. And that's what the Copyright Office has in place. They're not assuming everyone who files documents and they have a name that's identical or similar to someone else who already has a copyright. They're not jumping up and saying you're fraudulent because it could have been inadvertent. This is not inadvertent. This individual knows exactly where this phrase came from and simply stole it and now trying to claim it as his own. Very clearly, this whole situation has retribution as its origins. But I want you to think about something. When you hear someone like this speaking as if he has prevailed, no, the person has not prevailed. Gerald already got the victory here. Let me tell you what's happening. How that person existed, I described all that behavior, especially the cackling, the hollering, the screaming, the laughing, when attacking people based on protected class status. That existence is no more. That a channel That channel, which the person is known by, is no more. This person is having to scrub channels and delete channels and hide channels and make up names with strange letters, all in an effort to avoid employer detection. But even that isn't a foolproof method. This person has been essentially silent, hasn't been talking about sissies and bipolars and guzzlers and cum and all this other disgusting, sexually abusive and sexually harassing and quite possible criminal conduct. That is no more. So if you want to look at whether or not a channel is going to remain on YouTube and whether an abuser had to do a 360, sacrifice the channel. And here's the other thing. Gerald already had 3 monetized channels. Didn't even try to get them monetized. He just did what he did. That person who's up here stealing my phrases and going up under people in order to get recognition, only to turn around and try to become more known based on attacking those individuals, has never had a monetized channel. I think the sacrifice is going to be well worth it. Should YouTube elect to say, Gerald Palmer, we're going to take this particular channel, it is not going to matter. That person's harassment and abuse, public display of harassment and abuse has been stopped. This is the same thing that I was talking about before with me. You're calling the cops. The threats need to stop. I'm not trying to curry favor with demons. I'm not trying to get them to be my friends. I'm not going to get into a debate with them. I don't want any of that. And certainly Gerald is not going to seek to be friends with this subject. This subject had to change his tune. So you think about people who has the victory. There are individuals out there who absolutely cannot survive, literally, unless they are on the attack, not in the defensive position. They're launching attacks. And this is one of those individuals. Never thought in his wildest dreams he would be called to answer to what he did. What in the hell would anybody have to be called to answer to what they're doing, essentially violating code of conduct, attacking essentially every single protected group? Explain that to the white folks that are paying you. All that mess going out there in Los Angeles about these race attackers, attacking people based on any and everything, their disability status or sexual orientation. This kind of situation would not fare well in the media as far as the people who are engaging in it. There are some subjects who never learn. It doesn't make any difference. Fight back. Don't let anybody subject you to inhumane treatment and feel you have to tolerate it based on what? Because we're all black folks? That's the biggest crock of shit I've ever heard. And this person encountered 2 people who aren't going to go along with that. I emphasize the behavior has totally and completely changed. The screenshots have changed, the messages have changed, the live stream behavior has changed, and I know this individual is suffering because of the glee, sheer emotion of joy. That is really sick. Getting enjoyment out of something like this, but the person certainly did. Doesn't sound happy now. It's just YouTube. It's YouTube jokes. Well, tell it to your employer. People have a right to get harassment to stop any and every way they can that is legal. And this is what happens. So this person wants to use the copyright system and retribution. Again, succeed in your endeavor, but you will never operate the way you did before without your ass getting reported. And more people are waiting in the wings to submit more complaints if this shit does not stop and remain stopped the way it is. No one has a right to come here on YouTube and attack people in the manner that Gerald has been attacked, and the way that so many people have been attacked, the way that children have been attacked. It is really disgusting to think that somebody really garners a false sense of power based on this type of conduct. Well, you see how quickly that power dissipates. And that goes for anybody out there who is engaging in any of this type of conduct that violates the rights of protected class. People simply don't do their research with the Supreme Court. Let me lay this on you. Race attacking, racial discrimination is not protected by free speech on your off hours. Should your employer find out what you're saying and what you're doing? That has been tested at the Supreme Court level. You absolutely can be fired for race attacking people on your off hours. You're not protected by free speech, but these idiots learn the hard way. Don't challenge any of the garbage that you are hearing. Let these idiots continue to talk and simply copy the videos. Then make your move. Even going to really mention YouTube. It is not that hard to target a YouTube channel. It's better to keep the evidence up and go for something much more significant, because a person's YouTube channel comes down, they can just do another YouTube channel. Get the documentation. That's the most important thing. Don't ever feel you have to actually debate idiots, because this is what you're doing. Do you really hear that? Is it possible to debate an idiot? You are going to look like an idiot too. Don't debate issues that can't be debated. Let idiots do and say what they do. Trust you me, you're going to see the same situation you're seeing with this person that attacked Gerald. It's all good when you think nobody is going to hear what you're saying and what you're doing. See, there's been several cases of this situation. Who told these subjects to stand up here and act the rank ass fool on social media? Some subjects don't ever learn. Don't make it your problem. Don't make it their entertainment. Simply act as if they don't exist. That way, they'll just simply continue to bury themselves. You don't even need to give the person any dirt. They're going to literally bury themselves with their own words, because they can't seem to understand how else to get anybody looking and listening at them unless they're violating every rule, regulation, ethical, and moral standard known to man. Don't pull yourself down into the coffin with those who are digging their own grave. They'll be happy to bring you along. Listen, people, I said I had 3 more topics to cover, but this video is getting very long. I am going to actually post the video I did about Umar. I need to do some editing because there is an update with Umar, and there are 2 other topics I have to cover. Keep in mind, people, you have the control. Never neglect to heed the warning. Buyer beware.